Hey guys, it's RJ from The Secret Stacks, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm bad at Booktube, and why I think that's probably okay. Now, I'm somebody who I think, like a lot of people, lingered around the fringes of Booktube a long time before I actually started making videos. I just thought the community was so cool, but there are reasons why I felt that maybe I didn't belong or I didn't fit in because of my reading habits or who I was. And after making videos for about a month now, I've learned two things. First, my reservations were absolutely silly. But second, they were also absolutely true. When I watch a lot of other bigger booktubers or just smarter booktubers, I find myself thinking a lot, my videos aren't like that, and I don't know if they're ever going to be. Part of it is the learning curve. If you go back and look at my first video, the newbie tag, it's pretty terrible. And there's a part of me that wants to go in there and delete it and just do it all over again now that I kind of know what I'm doing with editing. But another part of me is proud in a way. And also, I want to leave it up to show people that, yeah, it's not perfect. The process is messy. And that's something that I think gets lost a little bit in some corners of BookTube. But I think that's also the best part as well. Look, I'll be the first to admit that I don't have a very high-tech operation going here. Pretty much everything is funneled through my iPhone. I shoot my videos on my phone. I edit videos in iMovie on my phone. Pretty much the only thing that I go back and use a computer for is you can't do things like custom thumbnails, which, if you see mine, I'm using some janky Microsoft Paint custom thumbnails. And this is the exact kind of stuff that made me hesitant to put out videos in the first place. But I found out, it doesn't really matter. At least it doesn't matter to me. In the sense that all my great conversations with people, we're not talking about how my videos look or how my thumbnail looks. We're talking about our shared experiences with books, and that's what it's all about. Now, I feel perfectly at home in the comments section, having conversations, writing, because that's what I'm good at. All of my jobs I've ever had have involved writing, because I feel like that's how I best express myself. And video is probably the worst way I express myself. I'm not flashy, I'm not demonstrative. In high school, my friends used to call me Monotone Bear or Eeyore. So that's definitely not the typical exciting foundation that BookTube channels are built upon. And you know what? That's okay too. I've tried to tone up my energy and my experiences a little bit in videos, and it just doesn't work for me. It comes off as, I don't know, it's not my authentic self. And watching a video of yourself knowing that it's not your authentic self I definitely know that I see it. And I feel like that comes across as well. I think people would much rather watch me be Monotone Bear than watch me try to be jumping onto the screen and giggling and laughing. And that's just not how I'm going to be the most interesting to people, because it's not who I am. And I think after making a couple of videos, I get that a lot more than I did before. And that's really what I love in other people's videos. Because YouTube is basically another social media platform, and to find authenticity, to find realness, it's not easy to do on the internet, especially on social media. But I think the best booktubing is where you reach beyond that presentation and you actually are getting into real, authentic discussions and expressions of your reading. And that's the cool part. Now, another reason that I thought I wasn't going to fit into BookTube originally is because of what I was reading. And I'll be the first to admit that you're never going to see me review a new release on my book, because that's just not how I read. It's not how I buy books. Being in that sweet spot of my life at 27 is a real great reflection of, yeah, I have just enough money to know that I don't have that much money. So most of my reading comes to the library, and none of that is new releases. Also, if money was no object, I might not be that into new releases anyway, because maybe Netflix ruined me, but I'm a big fan of binging a series, going through, knowing that I'm going to get to an end, whether it's satisfying or not. In so many of these trilogies, the endings kill me. But I'd probably much rather read all 3 books in a reasonable time frame than read the first one, love it, and then be killed every time that I gotta wait a year and a half for the next book. So sometimes I feel that puts me a little behind in the conversations on BookTube. It's like, hey, I just read The Maze Runner. Well, everybody else read The Maze Runner 6 years ago. Who wants to see me do a video on that now? But I also think it helps me focus a little bit in what I'm reading and what I'm making videos about. because I'm making videos and I'm reading books about things that I really loved, not just what was new and popular in the mass production sense of the term. And so it's funny looking back on it, all of my concerns about what kind of booktube I was going to be have absolutely come true. And I haven't fixed any of those problems, but I've come to embrace them. And I think that's made me feel more comfortable in what I'm putting out there because I'm more comfortable with myself and what kind of reader I am. Before Booktube, reading was a solely individual experience for me. I don't have a lot of friends who read what I like to read, so it was really me by myself reading experiences in books. And that's what I loved about Booktube is that I finally had this community where I could talk about and I could really get engaged beyond reading the end. It was also something where I had to check myself and make sure that I was participating in Booktube for the right reasons because that's what makes the reading fun. And booktubing is nothing without the reading. That's the foundation where it all happens. So now I'm curious to hear from you guys. Why do you think you're bad at Booktube? And why do you think that makes your videos awesome? And why do you think that makes you awesome? Because really it's our quote unquote flaws that make us individual. And it's that individuality which makes all your Booktube channels so great. So until next time, see ya.